Hey Amber Miners, welcome back to the Amber Mine. The real Amber Mine. Hey Amber Miners, in about 30 seconds, I will be in Jurassic Park. Join me. This is the first time I've seen the gate. Oh my gosh. There it is. Hey Amber Miners, welcome back to the Amber Mine. Boy, are my arms tired. I just flew back in from Isla Aventura. And boy, let me tell you about that experience. So, overall, it was an amazing trip, and I cannot wait to go back. One of the biggest highlights for me was walking through that gate, as you just saw. Oh my gosh, it was like walking into a dream come true. My gosh, I cannot wait to go back and bring you guys along with me. This time, I didn't do as much vlogging style video because I just don't know how to do that yet. However, next time, I'll make sure that I have it ready for you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna break down each of the different things that I got to experience and then rate them by a scale of 10. Each one of these are just my opinion, and honestly, because of the literal tropical storm, the fact that the tropical storm that I was there in literally struck a couple of the animatronics with lightning a couple days beforehand, and they were not working. That's gonna unfortunately affect my scores. However, next time I go, that may not be the case. So this is just my current thoughts and are not my final thoughts. I'll have to make at least 2 more trips. And by the way, if you would like to see more of that kind of content where I get to go places like that, leave a like, comment, share, all that jazz with the YouTube stuff. But however, some way that you'll be able to help me more directly is joining our Patreon. If you would like to see more of that kind of theme park or field trip content, which, believe me, we've got a lot of plans for once we're able to, but we just need finances. So if you're up to it and able to help out just a little bit, it could even be $5 a month. Every little bit helps, and then you'll be able to see more trips with me and potentially some others going to these different theme parks or different field trips. Anyway, let's get right into the review. I'm going to start with the big attraction itself, the river adventure. Because of those previously stated things, like, well, the Ultrasaurus was gone, as you can see in this picture. One of the paras was gone, and one was in what's called B mode. At least that's what it's called for Disney, where there's very little movement, and it tries to bring the natural animation that it would bring just from being basically static. They shot some water up, which is part of its actual show element, but it didn't actually jump out of the water like it's supposed to, and how in the storyline that throws you off course and sends you into the Velociraptor holding area. But needless to say, the animatronics that were there that were working were breathtaking. Granted, they showed their age just a little bit, because this attraction is, oh gosh, I think 25 years old, something like that. And it's showing its age, but it's not that bad. I honestly, oh my gosh. So seeing that Stegosaurus just in person, it felt like its Thagomisers were only a couple feet from me, even though it was probably closer to like 10 feet, but it was just it was an experience. Nothing videos can actually show, unfortunately. Speaking of that, I had grown up basically watching all those videos on YouTube of the different ride-throughs of all the different versions of this ride that are dotted around the world. We've got the Hollywood version, we've got the Orlando version, we've got the Japan, we've got Singapore, and Malaysia, I think. There was at least a sign saying that there was a Malaysia park. I don't remember specifically, but anyway, one of those big elements that really caught me off guard was when they had updated the Hollywood version to the Jurassic World ride. Up at the top of the lift hill where the big room with the Rex in it, I was like, where did they get all this room when they showed off the different updates to it? Like they added the Indominus, there was this huge cavernous room. According to all the videos and my interpretation of that room in the original version of the ride, it wasn't that big. However, experiencing it in person, I could totally see where all that room is coming from. It is a huge, massive space. Honestly, it felt like I was inside of a massive, I was inside of a massive warehouse that was 10 stories tall, but that's another story altogether. Anyway, so I took a lot of pictures of the Psittacosaurus, which we have models of, which you'll see a picture of the ride here and a picture of our model here. We didn't do pretty bad. Thanks to Luca for that. He's an amazing guy. I can't wait to show you everything that we've gotten planned for our Isla Adventura dinosaurs. Anyway, before I give you my final rating for the ride, I gotta talk about what was my favorite part of the entire Isla Aventura experience. And that had to have been the queue for the actual river adventure ride. I didn't get a lot of pictures of this. I did get some, so that you'll be seeing some of those pictures flashing on the screen. But it literally felt like you were being transported into the world of Jurassic. Honestly, the whole land was that for me, but this really cemented it. You could see the sights of the jungle, the different building theming that was like a good clash of the old safari style building elements, the jungle. Very, very, very little modernism, which I was so thankful for, which that was an excellence of Jurassic World, which I'll get to more of my thoughts on the Jurassic World elements later. However, it literally felt like I was stepping into something that fit in the world of the movie, which, if you remember correctly, the original tagline for Islands of Adventure and Universal Orlando in general was "Ride the Movies," and it literally felt like that. They captured the essence of the movie perfectly. So we had the Jurassic Journal, which I wanted to archive, but when I went to go back, they literally had shut down most of the park because of how bad the tropical storm hits. I just love the fact that my first visit to Jurassic Park, and it gets destroyed by a storm, and I had 2 no-shows, a sick para, and a tropical storm. You know, that whole spiel from the movie. And then, now I gotta talk about the big, awesome thing, which was right at the beginning of the queue. You get a massive model. This thing's probably, it looked like it was 15, 16 feet long, and it was a full circle of the actual island Isla Aventura. And it showed exactly where the different attractions were, the carnivore country, the helicopter tours that never were built, the Jeep Safari that was never built, carnivore country, the herbivore valley, the different the river adventures location, where the visitor center, where the discovery center was. Oh my gosh. I took 50 pictures at least. And now that leads me to my final verdict of the Jurassic Park River Adventure ride. Because of the animatronics not being there and those that were there were in B mode, I had to lower my score to 7.5 out of 10. The experience was amazing, and literally it was the queue and the theming that kept this thing bumped up. However, because of those animatronics, it did have to come down a little bit. Now, that has a potential for change next time I go. Hopefully, all the animatronics will be there, and, you know, my opinion's gonna change. Anyway, rolling right into the next one. Thunder Falls Terrace. Now, this was the main restaurant of the entire land, and of course, if I was only going to be there for a few hours, I had to eat here. Now, I've got some personal restrictions. I'm not able to eat pork, so I had the option of going with the rotisserie chicken. If you are going to Isla Aventura or Islands of Adventure, and you're only by yourself, do not get the rotisserie chicken. It was great, don't get me wrong. It was just huge portions. I wasn't expecting a half a chicken. It's like, where's all the... I may be a big guy, but come on. They can't expect me to eat a half a chicken, what looked like 2 sliced potatoes, and a full piece of corn on the cob. It's like, where's all that gonna go? I had to unfortunately, I had to ask for like a to-go box, which they didn't have. And I walked up and started talking to one of the park staff, and honestly, I wish I would have gotten this lady's name. She was great. She was like, we don't have anything like that, but I can get you some plates. And then we taped them together so that it wouldn't go all over the place, because there was no way I was going to eat all that food, and I didn't feel right about wasting and throwing it all away. Granted, this was $20, and $20 goes a long way now, or it doesn't go that far anymore. So it's like, with all that food and whatever. But yeah, make sure if you are going to the park, you bring at least one other person if that's what you're wanting to get, is the rotisserie chicken, which it was great, and it was steaming. It was hot as soon as I came in. You know, the thought that I had as I was eating it, I was chatting with my team members at that, was it felt like, you know, Hammond had a dinosaur park. What better way to serve his guests than dinosaurs, you know, chickens. So it's just my funny thing, my funny thought about that. But anyway, the atmosphere was perfect, right on for what you would expect from a Jurassic experience. And honestly, this was one of the best highlights of the trip, was not only because of, you know, the food element, but just the theming, the elements, everything was on point. Everything felt Jurassic here, and there was no detractors. So because of that, Thunder Falls Terrace gets the first 9 out of 10 of my overall thoughts and rating of this portion of the park. Now, for Camp Jurassic. From my understanding and a little bit of digging up of the lore, which thankful to a couple of these names right here, I was able to discover that in the original storyline, the entire Camp Jurassic area was like, it's a kiddie zone. So there's this jungle gym, there's water spouts going everywhere, so the little ones, when it's a really hot Orlando day, it's not gonna be stifling for the kids. They'll be able to get out in the water and have some cool down time. But anyway, there's also the Amber Caverns walkthrough attraction, which I do have some video here. And then there's the Pteranodon Flyers, which unfortunately I didn't get to ride because I didn't have a little one with me. That might be changing for next time, because my niece is obsessed with Jurassic Park and Jurassic World more so, but still, I might be able to do a quick review next time I get to go, if I'm able to bring my extended family. But anyway, so from part of the lore that I was reading up on, was that this area was like a gift to Lex and Tim from Hammond. So this was something that they could go do when they're at the park, and it's not this, they don't have to just do all this grown-up stuff. They have a place to cool down, which what I thought was pretty cool. Honestly, I was expecting that I was going to love the Amber Mine, you know, because we're the Amber Mine. But I kind of was a little underwhelmed by it, to be perfectly honest. it was just this little tiny section. I might be missing most of it because I didn't go up, climbing up in the jungle gym, because, you know, I'm a big guy. I'm just not able to do that right now. But what I found really cool, well, was that there was a Dilophosaurus paddock looking area that not only had some fences from concept art, but also the 12-foot tall carnivore fence, which we'll be showing a lot more in depth when we eventually get our Isla Nublar map. But it was also the same fence height that surrounded the worker village. It was also the one that Nedry drove through in the movie after the security gate that he opened up. This has some relevance in the universe, so I thought this was so cool. And also, this answers a theory of mine that when the dinos got to adult size, yes, there will be a video coming out on that, I promise, in June. I've been working on this video for about 2 years now, and it's about time that I get it out. But anyway, yes, there was an adult dino, and what we see in the movie was a juvenile, but I digress. I don't want to get too much into that. But my thought was that it was going to be housed in a 12-foot tall carnivore paddock fence. And what was in this area? A 12-foot tall carnivore paddock fence. So that answered a theory of mine. So at least in Isla Aventura, that's how they're held. Anyway, let me get to my overall rating. My overall rating of the Camp Jurassic area is our second 9 out of 10 overall experience. So, yeah. Now, for the probable best part. The part that I barely even scratched the surface. The Discovery Center. And I know Bob was begging me to keep going back. We kept trying to go back, but just different things. This was single-handedly the most lore-dense section of the entire area, because it had a Be-A-Saur attraction where you get to, they had monitors that had cameras up at the the heads of the dinosaurs, so you could see what their perspective was. There was a You Bet Jurassic, which was a trivia show, which I didn't even experience. There was a fossil wall. I don't remember what that's called, but you get to scan fossils and see what species there are. Again, I didn't even experience that. There was a DNA sequencer, which you put your face mapped on a dinosaur model. There was the Velocicoaster store. There was the Dino Burgers, which I didn't go to because I was over at Thunder Falls. And then there was the dinosaur store, or the Dino store. And that was actually really cool because I finally figured out where everybody gets this from. And then it had some Jurassic Park Institute artwork up on the wall. And one of these species, which is this one, myself and the team don't even know which one this is. So if you know, please let me know down in the comments below, because we don't know which one this is. And we thought we had a good understanding of the Institute artwork. Anyway, now for the piece de resistance, if I said that correctly, of the entire Discovery Center, the showcase of it all, the nerve center of the entire park, the nursery. My God, was this one of the most exciting sections of the park. The Discovery Center, if you want, I will have to make a video all on it, because this is such a dense section in order to not take this for too long, which I think I might have gone way too long with the River Adventure section and potentially Thunder Falls. But anyway, if you want, I'm going to save most of my thoughts for a video on just the Discovery Center. So let me know if you would like to see that. But this nursery was probably the best, and it was also recently showcased in an official Jurassic thing on the Jurassic World YouTube channel. A link to that will be in the description. But anyway, so before I get too deep into that, I'll save that for another video. My overall thoughts on the entirety of the Discovery Center is a whopping 10 out of 10. My gosh, if you could only experience one thing in the entire Jurassic themed area of Islands of Adventure, go there. Because you are going to be sucked into the movie. It's going to be as if you are there. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. The characters are in character. This is you in universe, other than the couple things which I will get to in the next section. It was perfect. Flawless. And to take a quote from John Hammond, simply spectacular, spared no expense. So, we're getting to the part that I've been teasing at this entire video. My overall thoughts on the entire area, the theming, everything. Well, so as I've been going super enthusiastic about this entire video, the theming was amazing in every section. However, with that being said, the Jurassic World elements really clashed. That being the Velocicoaster, which unfortunately I was not able to ride. And it was not for the reason that I thought it was, that I was going to be too big, because they don't like making attractions for bigger people. But no, the reason that I had issues with it and the Velociraptor experience was that it was Jurassic World. It felt so different and off, and it was such a culture clash, it felt like, from the rest of the area, that it just felt off. Those areas where that was, you could tell that there was a thematic change, and it just drew you out of the experience. Now, the last part was the Kong attraction, which was built where the Jeep Safari attraction was supposed to be. That was another thing that detracted. Overall, that brings the entire theming of the area to an 8.5 out of 10. Again, if it wasn't for the Jurassic World additions and the Kong Mountains, which they did try to pull in, because I did notice that they did have a massive picture of the Koali Ranch, which is the Gallimimus Ranch, by the way, mountains up on the side of the building to try and tie it in. It just didn't work well for me. But anyway, that has been my show. I will send it over to Orlando Thigh.
Hey everyone! Well, that concludes my day at Isla Adventura. I wish I would have gotten some more videos, but it is what it is. I took a ton of pictures and a little bit of video. I got to visit the actual amber mine, and I got to have a dream come true. I literally got to go to Jurassic Park. And as it was with the movie, it must be a little bit of poeticism, because I got rained out and a storm hit. And thankfully, it's not like a hurricane or something. This is early spring. And I did have to leave. I am literally soaking wet. But that's not much that this Seattleite can't handle. I even made a joke with one of the park staff saying, I left Seattle for this. And they just thought it was hilarious. They reassured me that this is the real Florida. But I digress. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this interesting video. I will give my takes on everything that I got to experience later, and in their own separate videos. Like, there's going to be a video separate about my thoughts on the ride, with the little bit of pictures that I could take, because right now they're not allowing videos to be taken on the rides. But anyway, my experience in the actual real amber mine, oh my gosh, the namesake of our entire channel, which I had not seen any coverage online, well, that's going to change, because the amber mine is going to bring you the amber caverns, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, but also, this is not the last time that the amber mine is going to be taking a visit to Isla Adventura. Our very own Bob will be taking a visit down in June. Perfect timing for Jurassic June. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some videos. I know this time we actually got to confirm some more species that are showcased in this park. We got 100% proof about Tamimus, we've got Quantosaurus, we've got a few others, and just wait, there's going to be plenty more videos covering this little park. I cannot wait to show you what's coming up from the Amber Mine. We're going to have a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see you join me. Anyway, this has been Ty. I will see you next time on the Amber Mine. Hey Amber Miners, thanks for watching today's video. Be sure to click the subscribe button on your way out and click the bell icon to be notified of our videos when we upload them. Consider leaving a like on this video so we know that you enjoyed it. Leave a comment about content that you would like to see come to this channel, and be sure to check the description for links to our Discord if you would like to talk to the team more directly. Check out our Patreon if you would like to help fund the team and its upcoming projects. Remember, this is a fan group reviewing the depths of our favorite franchise, and that we are in no way affiliated with the groups and companies that own them. Be sure to support Universal Studios and Amblin Entertainment. This has been an Amber Mine production. Thank you for mining with us.